All right. All right. So my first time going live here upon the channel when it comes to something like this, and I want to say thank you to 51 subscribers. Right. I want to say thank you to that to 51 subscribers, which is awesome. And go live for you guys, and we just hang out. Why not? Just hang out, right? Right now, I'm down here in my wood shop. Right now, we're down in the basement, I should say, and I'm doing some wood paneling here. But say thank you guys to 51 subscribers, and you know, being able to stream games for you guys is really good. Especially when I've done like a lot of pre-recorded gameplays as well, which I do actually miss. I do. I used to have a pretty good, decent capture device. I can't think of what the name of it was at the time. Like it's melted by something. Crazy if that's the case. But at the time I can't think of the name of it. And I used it for such a long time when I started doing gameplay on my older channel, which is called Jazzy Entertainment, which I still use, just not really for like gameplay though anymore, because I wanted something separate for that and everything. And I think this was a channel for gameplay and things like that, and started out with the PS4 when it came to first doing gameplay. I think the first gameplay that I did, not on this channel but on Jazzy Entertainment, which led to ChEDDErTarY Gaming, I think it was the Walking Dead Season 1 game from Telltale, I do believe. Things out of that nature. I want to say that's what it was for me. Which then allowed, you know, me doing a lot of the PS4 games. But eventually was able to pre-record PS2 and PS1s. And I still got some PS2s, PS1 games I do want to share with you guys. But it's going to have to wait until I get, you know, a capture device along with a new computer. And I've been out of a computer laptop for a good year. And, you know, I'm not made out of money. And it takes a minute, you know, and I explained a lot within my situations and stuff financially, which really should have been no one's business, but people talk and like to assume things, so you gotta set the record straight and things like that. And I know I've done a video twice, you know, talking about my history with gaming, and you know how I got into gaming. And everything. Eventually, I'm looking into getting an Xbox One, which I feel like, which I hear a lot of people do recommend for a lot of stuff, people still use more than the Xbox Series S that's out, because my understanding, the Xbox One is still functional. You can stream and you can, it's backwards compatible. And from my understanding, or at least the people in my area, and maybe somebody who's seeing this live or even after can confirm this, is that the Xbox Series S, the new one, or what have you, or the small, looks like a small black white one, looks like it has like a speaker in the middle of it, is like mainly digital, that it doesn't have physical. And I like physical because I have a lot of Xbox 360 games, maybe like 2 or 3 OG Xbox games that I do want to get to. I had some Sega Genesis games of mine I had for years that I do want to do. I have to get a clone console for that though, which I don't mind. And some NES games, some, not a few, not a lot, but just some, and everything that I do want to share. I did think about PC gaming. I know that's a lot to invest in at some point, but I shared again my story, my origin story, I guess you say, with my history gaming, and and I'd done the PC thing before PC gaming was popular, right? And I guess for this life, for the special, I'll retell my history with gaming, right? So my history with gaming, and I may not hit every key point. I may not hit every key point because I may not think of everything right away, but I'll try. Right? My history of gaming was with the NES. Now I'm 35 years old, so you had Dr. Mario, Duck Hunt, High Speed Pinball, and this one space game. But for me, it was always a space game with High Speed Pinball, right? And we all used to gather around and play that back in the day. We all used to. And from there, for me, we moved to the Sega Genesis, and I still have my Sega Genesis still to this day in my games. That was given to me by my uncle, who's no longer around, bless his soul. It has passed years ago. And there was a lot of good, crazy games with that one. Then you would have, I guess, being introduced to the first step of PC gaming. And we're talking mid-90s at this point. Even though there were like educational games during school, but this was the day during floppy disk. And there were different forms. The forms that I was experiencing at the time, they were like these long floppies that you would put in this way, right? And each time you progressed, it would make the old crickety sound that would feed out the floppy and everything, right? It would feed it out and everything. And from there, you would get the PS1 that would come out. And I still have a lot of my PS1 games. Don't have a PS1 anymore, unfortunately. I had several PS1s I wish I would have kept. Two of them given to me by my uncle who passed, and one of them by a friend who wasn't the same after getting shot. Right? And I had a lot of bootleg controllers back in the day too. Quite a few actually for the PS1. I actually do miss the PS1. I wouldn't mind trying to get another one just for the startup menu, because it's been so long, right? But I do remember playing I think the last PS1 model was ever really made, which came with like a display screen. Now, to kind of go in between that, I did have experience playing with the Nintendo 64. It wasn't my 64. It was like one kid. His name was Eric, and he used to go to his grandma's house. He used to live like right around the corner at the time, back in the day, and go over there everything. And I think like some of the main games that would stick out to me, you had 007, right? Pokemon Stadium, Star Fox, Super Smash Bros. But for me, it would be Pokemon Stadium, Star Fox, and Super Smash Bros., which I would definitely love. And eventually, I do know they got the new 64s that came out that are HDMI, which I wouldn't mind getting. And then getting those three games I just mentioned, right? Star Fox, Pokemon Stadium, and Super Smash Bros. And then, of course, you had two different things that were definitely introduced in the early 2000s, which was online gaming. We got the Cartoon Network, JEDDEX, WB, online arcade games. You had a few of the floppy ones. I think one of the ones that I did on at the time, two of them, GTA San Andreas and Need for Speed Underground. And of course you had the PS2, and I know I do have a PS2. I went through several of them. But I still got all the PS2 games. Still do. 100%. So, the PS2, always a classic. I do miss the online gaming / PC gaming. So yeah, I did do the PC gaming thing. It's just not how today's PC gaming was, but how it was, back then, if you will, with how it was introduced, right? Which did pave the way for today's PC gaming. Now, of course, then you had the whole, from after that, you had going from Xbox 360, right? Everything like that at the time. And I have the last model that's created, the Xbox 360E. I did meet somebody who knows how to fix it. I'm gonna wait till I get some extra money for that, because I love that system. I got all the games for that, and of course in the PS4. So, my history of gaming has definitely been around. I would say one that I think some people may have a question about. Well, what about handhelds or arcades or virtual? Yes, I had experience with those. With virtuals at the time, it wasn't like with today's headsets with like that. No, these were older built-in stuff, like really bulky. And I think the first one was Power Rangers, and it came with like the glove and everything. And then other ones like this jet fighter one. I remember what it looked like too. And I used to be pretty good at that. Then you had for handheld, I think I had Mortal Kombat. And these were like these handheld pre-built in games from the 90s slash early 2000s. And then yes, I did have experience with like our actual arcade machines. So yes, I have played just about any type of gaming out there, including board games and some card games if you want to include that. But yeah, I have had my history absolutely with gaming. Absolutely. And I used to watch a few of the OGs who done gaming channels on here, and I know a lot of them have moved on, right? Just like, and then that's part of life, we move on. We don't stick to the same thing. We find new interest, as it were. And that's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. The only thing I never cared for is when some of them would start something and not stick through it with certain game titles. Did not care for that. Did not care for that at all. Now for me, I'm not going to play every title of every game that's out there. It's just not for me. To me, there's a lot of garbage compared to a lot of good, or quantity over quality, I should say. Right. I even have a few, figure collecting videos here up on the channel. Some Yu-Gi-Oh card stuff too. Would I ever play like a Yu-Gi-Oh game on here? God, no. Them Yu-Gi-Oh video games are horrible. Horrible. Very horrible. If I'm just being honest. Not really so much worth it. For me, at least. And there are a few games, if you want to talk about certain games that did become trading cards, that had video games, I wouldn't mind getting my hands on. One would be Beast Wars. I miss that. That was from the PS1 days. Digimon, PS1 days. Oh jeez. I think that would be about it though, honestly. Tarzan. I do remember playing Tarzan. The PS1, not the Sega one, but the PS1 version. Those games I wish I owned, and I don't. I used to rent them a lot. I used to own a few demo discs back in the day too, as well. So back then, when it came to introducing with like disc gaming, like the PS1 and Dreamcast, which I did used to play. I never owned a Dreamcast, but I used to play one with my friend. But back then they used to do demo disc for games that would be coming out, and you would play 25 minutes, roughly, maybe an hour of the game, right, per demo disc, to see how you like it. And that's how we usually would get our games anyways, like that, was through demos. Those, I used to have two of them. They got destroyed years ago though in a flood. They were given to me by a friend who's no longer here. But yeah, I miss demo disc. Sony did try to continue that a little bit with the PS2, not by much. Not by much. I'll just add that, not by much. which was unfortunate. I wish they would have. And it's crazy, today's technology is so advanced that you can get like a collector's physical game and it's gonna have like full games on there now. It's crazy. Very crazy. Very crazy. So one thing that I've been working on though a lot, you know, dismantling pallet boards, refurbishing wood, prepping it before a build. And it's not going to be the easiest build though. No. I want to build a coffins shaped wagon. Wednesday theme. Possible. And I built one wagon before, an old childhood wagon I redid since my original was rotted out. But yeah, I'd like to try to get my hands dirty at times, like to try to build stuff, make things. That's why, you know, I got a workshop, you know. Sometimes I like doing remodeling at times. If I, depending. May not be full good at it, but I like doing it. Thanks. I gotta get that a bit tighter. Right there. There we go. But yeah, you know, that's what I also do at times. And it really depends, you know. It does, it depends. I know after I get done with season 4 of The Walking Dead New Frontier, from the definitive series version, I'm gonna pick back up from scratch with the PS5 stuff. I am. And I'm gonna restart with Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, get right back up where I was, you know. Right back up where I was. Like I said, you know, I had to sacrifice some stuff to make sure Mom had what she needed, so did the dogs, you know. And it took me a while to get that back. It did. It took me a minute. It took me a long minute. I would say, you know, one thing I'm going to work on is getting a new TV, which I do need. And stuff like that. Just, you know, hop on here for a few and say thank you to 51 subscribers, talk to you guys a bit, let you guys see what I do outside of this, things out of that nature. But yeah. Let you guys go. I got some stuff I do got to do tomorrow. Just say
thank you and peace.